Hello, class. This week topic leadership execution. I believe this week was a great week of great learning again. Um, One of the questions Professor Wilson you had for us was what were some of the obstacles that we faced in our current workplace that I can define along the lines of leadership execution. Definitely is true to the fact that within a working environment as leaders, it's important to ensure that you have all of your stakeholders or subject matter experts involved in your new projects from the beginning rather than at the last minute or bringing them in the middle or later part of the project. Oftentimes, that is the case, especially in a medical facility. We see this a lot in the IT world. Um, Providers or go out, or anyone will go out that have the authority to um, request equipment or authorize to purchase equipment, might go to a conference or whatever the case may be, and they see a new device that they think will benefit the organization, and they go ahead and get all the information they need to know about how to make it work, what it'll cost to purchase it, the warranty, everything. But they forget to contact their networking department and see what the requirements may be to have the device on the network. So we end up having them purchase the equipment, getting it put on the property book, and oh, by the way, put in a work order to the information management department and say, hey, I got this equipment and I need it connected. So of course, in the IT world, it's not that simple, not that cut and dry. There are certain paperwork that must be in place authorizing that device or whatever the equipment to be on the network. So we go through that tug of war sometimes with our customers, trying to get them to understand that no, we're not the bad guys. We're actually here to help. Uh, if this equipment is going to benefit the hospital, benefit the patients, then yes, we will do whatever we need to do to make sure you have the tools you need to treat our patients. However, we must also meet network requirements, ensuring that that equipment is authorized to be on the network. So those are some of the obstacles that we face, and we advertise, we promote, we put this information out as in many avenues as possible, reaching out to the health system specialists, the NCOICs, the officers in charge. We try and put this information out to let them know what the IT requirements are for connecting devices to the network. So that brings in, like I said, being involved from the beginning of the project, letting us know, hey, this is what you would like to have see done, and we'll do what we can to assist to make sure it happens. As leaders, you must also remain focused. The moment you take away your interest in the people that you have been entrusted to lead, see that you're no longer interested in the project or the process, then guess what? So will their interest decline. Um, just being that, having that open mindset is very important. You have to be open to fresh new ideas. Things change every day, every second of the day. So even in business, you have to be willing to adapt to change. Sometimes change is difficult for some people, and as leaders, you must be able to recognize that. Some people might learn differently than others. It doesn't mean that they can't learn, but it just means that as leaders, you must be able to recognize your people and recognize what avenues you need to take with them, as long as they're still striving, trying to learn, trying to do, and dedicated to your organization, then you, as leaders, you should be able to recognize that and do what you can as leaders to execute the best within your employees. So with leadership execution, that's what I have. Again, I think it's another great subject. I focus back on even my Arbinger training that talks about outward and inward mindset. And in a business world, as leaders, we all know that there's two types, positional and personal. And to be a good leader, you must be personal, authentic, and able to execute as a great leader. Thanks.